Hello everybody and welcome to my X-Files. Today we are looking at my next Bus and Coaches, sorry, not Bus and Coaches, my next Buses Monthly magazine, which is issue number 827 for February 2024. So, main news stories to looking at is the rise of Alexander Dennis just before the merger, because Alexander and Dennis were separate, but this is just Dennis, how it climbed to become number one before it got partnershiped with Alexander. There's also preservation disaster with the fire destroying precious vehicles, but my big one is this one, preparation for succession, story of the Go South Coast takeovers. So this would be Go South Coast, Bournemouth, in help in the demise of yellow buses, and Blue Star in the demise of First Hampshire and Dorset, aka First Solent, in the Southampton area. Says funding lifeline for transport for London, so I wonder if that's been saved. Well, we'll see. So going the extra mile. A comment with James Day, which it says the company's dedication to keeping passengers' lifeline transport links in place deserves the plaudits it received. It shows a Go South Coast Damery, Alexander Dennis, and Vara 400 for it. So, Stowe confirms over 1/3 drop in concessionary pass users, which I think they're probably getting it in in place of the app. So I think the app is probably the ones that's stopping the concessionary pass users. I'm still a concessionary pass user, so the good thing is I'm autistic, which means the concessionary pass users will stay more or less up for some people, but some of these are actually elderly. So yeah. Nottingham considers cuts. Now this one was a big shock because Nottingham, the truth is, in some ways, that the south is richer than the north, and this more or less contradicts that, because there's a Nottingham considered cuts with a section 114 for the bus companies, and Nottingham City Council is bankrupt. But I've found out that 1/5 of the entire UK is actually bankrupt at the moment. But luckily Gloucester and Bristol are not any of the ones considering a section 114 once again. Numero uno replaces Arriva in the Hertfordshire County Council Zebra Award for 27 zero-emission buses, I guess. And oh dear, government boosts autonomous bus research. Well, you can see it's a good thing or a bad thing, because the thing is, bad thing, it takes away jobs. Good thing is, and also another bad thing, it's a robot, so you just don't know what an autonomous bus would do if it goes wrong. And you would probably all agree. Sprint hydrogen to go battery electric. This is articulate buses on the West Midlands Bus Rapid Transit Network. But I found out that with this, it said about the Van Hool Exquisite tram articulate did hydrogen, but oh, it's not hydrogen anymore, it's electric powered. But the question is that still going to be in this an Exquisite or something else, which is going, but it's a very big question which it's going to be. If it's going to be anything from Van Hool or something else. Revamps in Nottingham country. Well, the good thing is that Arriva is now private and is now under the name I2, the infrastructure company. Night bus return to Horn, Liverpool. That's good, but also Cheltenham has also added a bit more to its public night line and some daytime services for 94X services. West Midlands on demand scaled back. Well, the truth is that Birmingham is also on the West Midland part. That is also showing a bit of bankruptcy as well on the section 114. But nothing much has else been said, really. Of course, 20 mile per hour limit leads to Arriva Cymru changes. Watford's demand responsive transport knows the click ends at short notice. And of course, First Bus's Rochdale depot gets ready for the B network. And the second Buckinghamshire demand responsive transport, by the looks of it. The Sherper Widefer, which is basically demand responsive transport in Wales. And Cymru has some delayed buses, electric buses that will launch in February now. Don't know why that is. So First Bus quits Taunton Park ride, which is open door to Stagecoach because First South West in the Bus of Somerset division gave it to Stagecoach South West, which will have a load of change of buses and stuff. Torbay seeks to secure services. Well, that's good. But these are 9 at-risk socially necessary bus services and have received financial support. And of course, this includes Stagecoach buses. But the thing is, they need to have financial support, continued financial support, or be at risk of being withdrawn. Of course, state of play, which is another focus onto this. So in the European region, we've got some all new buses and coaches all the way around in like Austria, Hanover in Germany, United States, an Israel bus manufacturing company, and looks like new articulated bendy buses in Ukraine, by the looks of it. The Chernobyl based placed. How the Chernobyl based country, shall I say? Country. Chernobyl based country, that was it. The pile of radioactive rubble. Finland, of course, with the Volvo 9700 double deck. Nice. So we got our final, so in London we got our final links in Superloop. Oh, Transport for London sets out plan all the way up to 2027, but government provides less cash than hoped. So that would probably only go up to like 2025-26. So they'll probably be starting to talk and keep on talking about government funding all the way up to 2028 next. RATB and Group and Stagecoach reports losses in London with money by the looks of it. Yeah, well, that's obvious. The busiest and quietest bus routes revealed. So this is quite a surprise. Bellio rebrands because they're now Transport UK now, so they'll probably get a rebrand from Bellio to Transport UK, which of course you can see on this right route master former Bellio what the Transport UK logo is going to look like. Talk about 1066, which is of course about Hastings and all that lot. So this is the big one. Another big one was Wood or Nicholson bringing companies brought out of administration. One of the things was supposed to be the most successful companies, which is Mellor, because they made Sigma 7 all the way to Sigma 12, with a Sigma 13 and Interurban Sigma 12 being a question mark of actually being made. French hydrogen pioneer looks to a battery electric future, which is Van Hill. So they're probably saying that they will stop doing those and continue more on the battery electric side of things. Maybe why National Express with West Midlands wanted to change hydrogen to electric. So bright bus contests in Edinburgh Airport route. So basically some Scottish airport competition by looks of it, or rivalry. Reform of driver CPC. So this is it. The Go South Coast Master Plan, which of course phase 1 started with more bus taking over from Yellow Buses Bournemouth, which of course it actually left in late 2021, early 2000. No, it was actually late 2022 that they went bankrupt and is actually no more. So actually there's Salisbury Reds, but that didn't really have anything. Until Moorbus was at full capacity, they did have to use buses from Go South Coast Swindon's Bus Company, Salisbury Reds, and probably Blue Star, if anything. As shown here. And of course Southern Vectis as well. Oh no, that's Blue Star. So some of the buses from Southern Vectis had to come to Blue Star because it's first bus Hampshire and Dorset Southampton division ended. So they needed mass plan, that's phase 2 for it. But luckily, transitioning from first bus to go South Coast and RATP group yellow buses to more bus was quite easy, and made it quite easy and gradual acquisition in the right way. They did, of course, go South Coast more, did keep the yellow buses livery for some of their stuff, so that there is still like some sign of yellow buses still being part of Bournemouth's everyday life. And of course we have the old buses, which of course are all Dennis buses before transition to Alexander, but they also had East Lancs bodies and Switch Opters and Plaxton bodies. And then of course when Alexander Dennis came together, they showed off an artist's impression of the ALX 400 bodied Trident. And of course John O'Groats Land's End Part 3, so Part 3 of buses. And there's 36285, which of course works in the Stroud area. It looks like it's been put on Dursley services. Got Applegates of Berkeley, got one of the Switch versus First West of England's Bristol division, Lynx branded biogas Alexander Dennis bus, and Wright Gemini 3 street deck by Volvo B5TL. Alexander Dennis Enviro 400 as well. Alexander Dennis Enviro 200 transport for Cornwalls, which are part goes southwest. And of course there are also first southwest stuff too. Alexander Dennis Enviro 200 MMC, this is 37608 and 37624 is actually looking like this, but without of course the Christmas stuff. It's actually got a Stagecoach new logo, but it's retaining the old brand. So in next bus magazine, of course, early showings, of course. It's new industry, new industry column. A new rotating industry column begins next month. Starts with a perspective of the Stagecoach group. That's going to be interesting. I'll probably show only the big 5. So Stagecoach, First Bus, National Express, Arriva, Go South Coast. Sorry, not Go South Coast. Go Ahead Group. Go South Coast is just a subsidy. It's crossing boundaries of Scottish to English borders. Safeguarding Centenary. And you'll probably see the custom denim element bus that's supposed to be heading to the UK. It's supposed to be in the UK in January. Sometime after this goes to press. Of course, this looks like it's probably still talking about the funding and section 114s. So of course, in big news this month is Hull adopts Go Coach's capacity-based fleet number system. Kevs buys Mercedes-Benz Sprinter by Mello Stratas. no.827 MCV either rat-bodied Volvo B8 Harleys for go-ahead Pullums. Reading buses and Thames Valley adds 11 more accidents in via 400 cities. And the York Pullman begins electrification with a Yutong TCE12. So, of course, all this shows all the news of all the bus fleet that's happening. Well, not at this moment. This is like a month in advance. So, probably some surprises on these. But I'm always ready to see what things are looking like in the stagecoach stuff. And one thing to say is that because of these right street deck electroliners, similar but bodied as Volvo B5 TLs, or as ultraliners or ultraliners or carbon liners, those diesel ones are coming. One of them's at work at Go Ahead Pullum and Sons on the number 99, because they basically made way for their right street deck electroliner sisters, which are those. So of course, where I am, everything is based on Stagecoach West stuff, but I'm more or less in the Gloucester stuff. So when you see the Gloucester stuff, you're looking at, looks like a lot of them are based actually in Cheltenham or Oxford. Anyways, I've seen that Alexander Enviro 300 by Man 18.240 number 22751 has a new livery on it, which I've seen with my own eyes. It looks like this one's like on Stagecoach Yorkshire, Stagecoach Southwest, where they basically don't have any black around the windows. And another good thing you're looking at is Mellor Sigma 7 on another demand responsive service. Would be good if they actually put more on others. It's too bad that Westlink didn't get any, or the Wiltshire Council, because they favour Mercedes-Benz Sprinter bodied Mellor stuff. We know that Stagecoach and Shuttle Bus orders Alexander Dennis Enviro 100 EVs first hand. Even though they're in new local liveries, Alexander and Transbus ALX 400 by Trident will be fully gone at some point. And that's of course some Ireland stuff as well. Okay, so that's everything said about this. So that is, of course, is a very good bus magazine to read. I can't wait to actually be reading that more now it's here, until the next one comes out, which would be issue number 828. So with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files, and I'll see you again next time. Slugheads!